Greetings, Internet. Welcome to But I'm Still a Good Person by Vince Nicholas. I'm Vince Nicholas. I'm joined by my sparkling wifey, Carolyn Nicholas.
Hi.
Hello, honey. Thank you for joining me on our bed for our little presentation here. Okay, so let's talk about our Saturday. I woke up at around 5 a.m. to go to the bathroom for the sixth time that night because I'm an old man. And I couldn't go back to sleep. I had energy. I was awake. Lennox was awake. And I was like, all right, well, I'm starting today. So first thing I did was I canceled Lennox's Xbox Game Pass thing. He had a promotion where it was $1 for the first month, and then it shoots up to $15.99 or whatever. So I wrote that date down in my calendar. I was like, cancel Xbox the day before it charges your credit card again, honey.
I'm so glad you did that because I also wrote it on my calendar and then the date passed and I have not taken action. I didn't know you did that. So Thank goodness one of us is responsible.
Oh, yeah. I don't mess around when it comes to subscriptions. Okay. And then I plucked my eyebrows and trimmed my nose hairs. I'm a pretty girl. And then I'm still up. So I threw on some Mythic Quest, which was just canceled. RIP after 5 seasons. It's a good show, fun show. But I'm not sad that it's canceled. It's just entertainment. It's just a television show. Can we all calm down? People whine about things being canceled. And it's like, move on with your life, buddy. So throw on Mythic Quest. It was a little stuffy in the living room. I was out there in the living room by myself. So I opened a couple windows. I opened to get a breeze going. As Grandma Teen would say, fresh air, fresh air. So I opened the north window, a window on the north. We have 2 north side windows. And then I opened a window on the west. He used to meet me on the west side. And now, the west window already had 2 holes punctured by Frankie Blue, our terrified weirdo of a cat. But they weren't huge holes. But also, he had ripped out the corner of the window screen, so it was loose. It was like the screen flew wildly, and it was just open. But I thought I want to get a breeze going here, and it's 5 a.m. and it's not a big deal. I was planning to do window screens that Saturday morning. So I'm watching my Mythic Quest. By the way, I watch it completely on silent because everyone's sleeping. I got the subtitles.
Do you enjoy that viewing experience?
You know what? It's really hard to be funny, like with just words on a TV show.
Yeah.
But it works. That's how good the show is. But on the other hand, like we watch everything with subtitles, and sometimes like the punchline will come up
right
as words before the character says it in the show. So you're kind of
that kind of ruins. Comedy is ruined by captions sometimes.
Yeah, but well, everyone's sleeping and it's fine. So it's 5:45 a.m. and I hear Frankie rustling and bustling and fussling on the west side window. And so I'm like, oh gosh, now I got to deal with this. So I stand up, I turn around, I look at him. His ass, his bootay is inside the house. But his front part, his face, his head is hanging outside of the window. And so I start freaking out and I run over there and I say, Frankie. And he proceeds to just walk out onto our little, it's like an overhang, or an awning or a roof thingy.
Right.
And so he just waltzes out there like no big deal. And I was like, oh, great. Now this is happening. I shouldn't have left that window open, but you want to underestimate how much mayhem Frankie Blue can cause, but he always exceeds the mayhem.
This is not his first time escaping out a window either.
Brett. Yeah. He did like parkour last time. He got out of a window and ended up on our balcony. Second floor balcony, which I still don't understand how that happened. Well, he's a cat. So I wake you up immediately. I run to you. And I'm like, honey, wake up. What did you think? What was going through your head?
I thought it was something with the house. Like
Okay.
there was a flood or like a pipe had burst or something like along those lines.
Yeah. But pretty quickly you understood that Frankie.
You said, Frankie's out on the thing.
Yeah.
So I ran out there.
Yeah. So we didn't have a plan. We didn't know what we were doing. But what happened was you stayed on the second floor in the window. Your face was hanging out of the window. Your top half was hanging out the window. I went downstairs to the street, and so we had both bases covered. We have no idea what we were doing. And then you tried to lure him.
Yeah, I went and got his bag of treats, and I was shaking them and holding one out the window.
Yeah.
And he was just looking at me, meowing, casually walking around.
Yeah.
It was so annoying.
The treats would get his attention, but then he would stop paying attention 5 seconds later.
Usually he'll come running when he's inside. If he hears his treats from anywhere, he'll come running to you. But he was interested in the outside.
He looked like he was gonna jump because we know his like pre-jumping ritual. We have like this giant bush hedge thing right next to our front door. It looked like he was about to jump on that. That wouldn't have been good because branches and leaves would have stuck him all over the place. He would have freaked the heck out. So I was like, don't jump, Frankie, don't jump.
Don't do it.
But after a few minutes, I was like, jump, Frankie, jump. Let's get this over with. It's freaking 5 a.m.
Yeah, we were at a standstill for a few minutes, and it's like, he's not moving. We're not making any progress here.
Yeah. At first, I didn't want him to escape, but then I was like, if he escapes, well, you know. But you eventually captured him, honey. Can you tell us how?
Eventually he made his way towards me and the treat, which I was still holding out to him, and he came and got it, and I grabbed him under his arms and I pulled him inside.
Yeah.
And I quickly shut the window so he couldn't jump back out.
You were like a firefighter rescuing a cat from the tree. And then he proceeded to meow for 45 minutes or so. And with each meow, I regretted rescuing him a little more. He's been on one lately. Like he'll just meow and meow.
He's not satisfied with food. Usually we feed him and he shuts up.
Yeah.
But he's all hours of the night, just constant meowing.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah. No clue. He destroys window screens, window blinds, our carpets, our stucco on the wall. Frankie is Godzilla. That's my conclusion. I mean, Godzilla goes, "Arr, arr, arr." That's pretty much like a cat meowing. Frankie Blue is now Kaiju Blue, and he's destroying the lives of everyone in his path. Frankie poops, he barfs, he yawns, he stretches, he yawns, he stares. What are we gonna do with him? Is this a phase? Is this like how cats go crazy near the end of their lives? What's happening?
I think it's just a phase. I don't know what's causing it though, but we've been through tough times with Frankie before, so we'll come out on the other side of it.
Okay. Stronger, better. You got his nails did today, honey. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, I reached out to a couple different local people who come to your house and cut your cat's nails or do other services for your pets. Mm-hmm. One person got back to me, so she came over today. I was scared because Frankie's unpredictable and difficult.
Yeah.
But she just grabbed him and she held him really tight, and he did cry a little.
Yeah.
But she got him clipped pretty quickly.
Well, the last update I got was Luna was trying to lure him. He was under our bed.
Right.
And Luna was trying to lure him with treats. How'd you guys get him?
Well, the woman texted me and said, I'm 9 minutes away.
Okay.
So immediately we had to get Frankie out. We had to shut all the doors to prepare. And he's underneath our bed where I can't reach him. I can't get him out.
Yeah.
So I lured him with treats. That didn't work. Luna tried treats. Didn't work. Finally, we shook his box of food, and we poured it into his metal bowl.
Yeah.
And when he heard that sound, he came running out. And then we quickly shut up all the doors right before the lady arrived.
Yeah. And then she had her own van?
Yeah, she was in like a giant white van. She wanted me to bring Frankie downstairs. She said, can he come down in his carrier? I said, nope.
Like Jeff Daniels' van in Dumb and Dumber was a giant dog?
Yeah.
Wow.
Similar. I said I cannot get him into his carrier cage.
Yeah.
And then she just wanted me to bring him down like in my arms. But that... Frankie Blue.
She don't know no Frankie.
Frankie can't. He would freak out. He would run. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I asked her if she could just come upstairs, and she came up. That was no problem.
Did you have her take her shoes off?
I did.
Oh, thank you. Continue.
So she had little hand clippers, no Dremel like the previous lady that we hired.
Okay.
It was like big clippers.
Yeah.
And she had to squeeze him and hold his little paws out.
Was a towel involved? Did you help?
No, I asked her. Okay. I asked her, "Do you need a towel? She said, "I'll just hold him." But every time she clipped the nails on each paw, she would go 1, 2, 3, 4. She was like trying to like really comfort Frankie. She kept saying, "You're okay."
Was he meowing?
Okay. Yeah,
he
was crying and meowing.
Where's the video, honey?
She was really nice with him.
Oh, it could have gone viral on TikTok. How much did it cost?
She charges $25, and I tipped her $4.
That's cool.
So I left her $29.
Cool, for 5 minutes of work. And the full story is that you reached out to the previous lady who did Frankie's nails. And she did not respond.
I tried.
Is she scared of Frankie? She was like, I ain't dealing with
never again.
Nut job again.
I reached out to her first because we really liked her and her Dremel, but she didn't get back to me for a few days. So then I tried this other company.
Okay.
And they immediately got back and were able to come out same day.
Cool. Yeah, Frankie is doing fine. I guess he's currently under our bed. He's a menace to society. He causes mayhem and cheese. So during this day, I was pissed. I was not having it. I was upset. I was angry at Frankie at just everything that's been going on with him. And then I look over at him and he's sleeping on the couch with his arms stretched straight forward. And I was just like, he is so cute. Oh my God.
He is so cute.
I can't stop loving him, even though he treats me bad. I want more. I don't know. We'll keep you updated with the Frankie Blue prognosis. So, you like to walk, honey.
Yes.
And when you walk, I like walking too. But when you walk around the neighborhood and in West Sacramento, you do like at minimum half hour, sometimes an hour plus. And that's just too much walking for me. Part of it, I think, is because, in my job today, I got nearly 14,000 steps. So I get tons of steps in my job. But also, I just find walking not exciting and boring. And you like to go listen to Sabrina Carpenter and be on your own.
Yeah, I'd rather walk alone, actually. So I'm fine that you don't come with me to do that.
Yeah, I used to, but then I stopped and I just do the gym. And I'll walk around our little park a few times with you. But these hour-long walks, I can't. I won't. But recently I've had like visions of us both having a bike and riding our bikes around West Sacramento, going to get coffee, going to a restaurant, going to Dollar Tree. I've just been like, why aren't we doing this? This could be a thing. Lennox got that scooter, the new GoTrack scooter. So his bike is just sitting around. And I was like, let's buy you a bike, or let's buy a bike. And let's just start riding our bikes around. We could be like the Falconers, honey. Okay? So you were skeptical at first. Why?
Well, you've never had this desire before.
That's true.
I've never seen you ride a bike.
It did come out of nowhere. Yeah.
I've always been sort of a bike person. I haven't had one for a couple of years, but when I did used to have one, I would just go by myself on little rides around the neighborhood, and you never expressed an interest to join me or do that.
Right. And also our garage is hecka small. So scooter, lens bike, and then another bike. And it was, I don't know. I just never thought about it. But I was like, let's make this bike thing happen. So we went to Donut House, spelled Donathaus. He's an older gentleman, West Sacramento. I bought Lennox's first bike from him. He's on the seedy side of West Sacramento, honey, north of West Capitol Avenue, if you know what I'm saying. So I message him. He's got tons of bikes. He sells clothes. He sells cars. He's a whole thing. So I message him on Facebook. He's on Marketplace. He's all over on Marketplace. I said, hey, Donut, could we come by? He said, yeah, come by. And so we show up. And I'd spent a good hour with him previously when I bought Lennox's bike. You just showed up at the end because you got the Sorrento, so we could throw the bike in the back. But we both go over there. I was like, let's just check out what he has. Because the dude has like 50 bikes, okay? He's got a bike, Coachella or whatever. Bike-a-palooza. So we go over there. First of all, Donut House is a handsome man.
He looked more fit than he did the last time we saw him.
Yeah.
He's in good shape.
Well, the first time, he didn't have a shirt on. He had cargo shorts, no shirt. He's got the bench press out there. He's got weights. He's got kettlebells. He's got barbells. The dude works out. He looks like slimmer now. But then again, he was wearing a hoodie as opposed to last time he didn't have a shirt. But I think he's sort of leaning out as like the bodybuilders like to do sometimes. I'll lean out one day, honey. But and he's what would you estimate his age is?
Oh wow, I would say he's around 50.
Really? I'd go mid to late 50s. But he
looks really good.
Yeah, he's in excellent shape. I want to look like him at that age. I want to look like him at my current age. But anyways, so we get there, and you were a bit apprehensive / scared of the whole deal. I was ready to dive in because me and Donut go way back. What did you think, honey, when I just started walking into his backyard and looking around? And he wasn't home yet, by the way.
I don't feel very comfortable with the whole like personal buyer-seller scenario.
Yeah.
I like to go to a store and there's a price tag and that's it. You pick one out, you pay what it's labeled as.
You are so basic.
With Donut, you're like looking through everything. And then I was like, oh, we're taking long. He's getting irritated with us.
Nah.
You kept asking him to pull out specific bikes from the piles.
Yeah.
So we had to move stuff. And I was like, you're putting Donut out.
Right. I was like, he don't care. This isn't Mike's bikes. I mean, he has like 10 bikes all leaning against each other. And then the last one or the first one or whatever is leaning against his little tough shed. And so if you say, I would like to look at that bike, and you point to one in the middle, he's like, okay. And then he grabs one bike, puts it over here, grabs a second bike, puts it over there, grabs a third bike. So it's a whole process, but I'm comfortable. I mean, because me and Donut House go way back, but I it's not a store. It's just very informal, and he's seen everyone on the planet, all shapes and sizes. So, and I don't think he don't mind. He's cool. No worries. So we started riding bikes, honey. That was fun. Riding bikes up and down Donut House's street.
That was fun.
I went in with the mind of I wanted a beach cruiser, but after testing a few bikes, I didn't like that the beach cruiser doesn't have gears and it doesn't have brakes on the handles. So I was looking for like an outdoorsy performance bike or whatever. But one bike caught your eye.
Yeah, there was a cruiser there that was purple.
Yeah.
And it was shiny and it looked like in pristine condition.
It had a basket.
Had a nice basket. There's a couple little scuffs on the metal.
Yeah.
But it looked almost brand new.
Yeah.
It was so pretty. And you and I both rode it and I loved it.
Yeah.
I fell in love.
It's a Schwinn. I forget the model, but I looked it up. Over $200 at Target, brand new. Okay. We got it for 105. So Donut, good man. He just keeps saying, he's good, no problem, no problem. He's an agreeable fellow. So we got that bike. I thought about buying a bike for myself, but then I thought, well, once again, room is an issue. I would just buy something similar to Lennox's bike. He has like a performance off-road kind of thing. Maybe visually, aesthetically, just a little different. But I was like, I'll ride his bike. You ride your cruiser. We can paint the town red. No problem, no problem. He's good, he's good. So we come home, we bring it home, $105. Didn't talk him down because I was like, Donut, he's out here. He's just trying to make that mad paper. What am I going to say? Save $5? And by the way, last time for Lennox's bike, I went back and forth with him over $5 for about 20 minutes. And I was just like, whatever. This guy's he's an entrepreneur is what he is. So we come home and we deal with space. We cleaned out the annex, which needed.
Yeah. It needed some winnowing.
Yeah.
We threw away some empty cardboard boxes. We moved things around.
Yeah.
And we made things fit better.
Yeah.
And so both the bikes now fit in our little annex room.
It's a little tight, but yeah, they both fit. If you carefully move them in and carefully move them out. One thing that we threw in the trash is Judy Zone's rickety, scary 6-foot wooden ladder. And it's big. It's taller than our trash can.
It's sticking out like 4 feet.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that Waste Management won't take it.
Yeah. Nah, they will. They don't care.
They better.
Their trash truck just gets that big metal arm and it grabs it and dumps it out, and they don't care. Well, there's. If it comes down to it, if they fine us or if they send us a letter, I'll be like, oh, no, put it there. Oh, what are you looking at me for?
Don't listen to this podcast.
Oh, dear. Bleep. It is sticking out. It is funny. But I think we'll be okay. Because, well, people's trash is sticking out all over the place. But because our condo, well, we live in a condo, it's hard to nail down whose trash belongs to whose. So I think we'll be fine. It is sticking out like a sore thumb. It's almost comical, and I'm looking forward to them dumping it. We rode our bikes. We saw the West Sac goats. They're about a quarter mile away. How'd you feel, darling, riding down South River Road?
I felt wonderful, except my thighs were burning like crazy.
Yeah.
And that slight incline on Village Road, ooh, I almost didn't make it.
Yeah. It was perfect. It was fun. I looked towards many adventures on our bikes. How are we going to handle security? Because we have a lock. Do we lock our bikes together and then that'll discourage people from stealing 2 bikes because it's difficult to carry 2 bikes around?
No. We lock our bikes together on a bike rack or a pole or whatever.
Okay.
And our lock is long enough that we should be able to do that just fine.
Okay. What about helmets?
Nah.
Wow.
We don't even own any.
Well, that's true. Biggest lesson here is that I was right about bikes.
Yes. I'm so glad that you became a bike man because it's a wonderful little thing to go do together.
Me too. And I want my own bike, but the bike isn't the issue here. The issue is just a mode of transport. Like going to get coffee, going to get pastries or whatever, running errands around town on our bikes. That's what's important to me, spending time and doing that stuff. And the bike is just a mode to get somewhere. So I would like my own bike, and maybe I will buy my own bike. But currently, Len's bike is fine. Although his brakes do not work. Like, if on a scale of 1 to 10, they're like at a 1, maybe a 2. But I was riding around, and I don't know if it's due to wear and tear or just Lennox being a young teenage boy, but those brakes are not working. So my plan was for you to drop me off there on Saturday at West Capitol Cyclery, and then they fix the brakes, and I assume they do it cheap because they're super cheap. I've taken Len's scooter there for various things, and they're like, how much does it cost? $15. Okay, sure. So I'm hoping they'll do it super cheap. But how about you drive me there on Saturday and drop me off, and then when they fix the brakes, I ride home by myself.
Wow.
It's about 3 miles. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do you think I can do it?
I think you can do it. You might struggle, but you can do it.
Well, I think it's a decline. It's not an incline. Slight decline.
It's mostly flat.
Yeah.
I worry about traffic and cars over in that area, and certain stretches of road have practically no bike lane. It's very, very scary, so be very safe.
I'm worried about the appearance because West Cap is a little rough and tumble, and we see lots of men on West Capitol on their bikes, but they look like the unsavory sort. So will I look unsavory?
No, because you'll be wearing your flowery gardening gloves, so you look very nice and safe.
Okay, and I'll try to skedaddle, get out of there ASAP. Let's talk about what we've been watching, honey. Black Mirror. This is season 5, episode 1. Premiered on Netflix a few days ago. What do you think about Black Mirror?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Nothing has been as good as the first season.
Yeah.
Black Mirror is really hit or miss.
Yeah.
And I don't really care to watch more.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm tired of the misses.
Yeah, it's more misses than not.
I get that they're trying to make a statement on subscriptions and services and healthcare and whatever. But, okay, I got it. I got your lesson. How about you entertain me or scare me or freak me out a little? I was like, okay, this is where they're going with this episode, with this plot. And the end was tough to take. It was not easy to watch. Heartbreaking, if you will. And I like Rashida Jones, and I like the guy who's in Bridesmaid. But I was just like, Black Mirror used to be something good. Season 1, season 2. But now it's just so... I'm not gonna go through 10 episodes for 1 or 2. I can think of one good one from last year. From the last season. It was the Aaron Paul, Josh Hartnett one, where they were astronauts.
Yes, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was really good. But that was one.
Right.
And they do 8 episode seasons, 10 episodes, whatever. So I can't. I'm not going to. But you're okay?
Yeah, it's not worth putting off Love After Lockup to watch new episodes of Black Mirror.
Exactly. And then we watched the documentary Gone Girls. This is about a serial killer who killed prostitutes in Long Island about a decade ago, a little bit more than a decade ago. And he just was recently found and brought to justice. What'd you think about Gone Girls, honey?
It was a great documentary. It's 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Really fascinating and gripping, and takes some twists and turns that I did not see coming.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah. So the guy targeted sex workers, hookers, because they're less likely to speak up. Less people just care about them per se. And a lot of them are off the grid. A lot of them won't report crimes. And then police, they're just like, oh, she was a hooker. They shrug their shoulders, and they don't really put effort into it. But it took the families of these gals just constantly going after the cops and trying to get media coverage, and it goes on for years and years and a decade. But finally, they got him. But yeah, it was really good. It was shocking. Because they're looking for one gal, and then they're like, oh, wait, here's another dead. Wait, yeah, they're looking for one girl. And then they're like, wait, here's a dead girl. Oh, wait, here's another one, and another one. And they find 9 other dead prostitutes. in this very small area, like forest, not foresty, but wooded area, brush area in Long Island. It turns into a whole thing, and the guy's a nut job. But yeah, I thought it was very well done. And another thing is that when they have Jane Does, they do fingerprints and they submit it to a database or whatever, and they look for DNA. But because a lot of hookers just weren't part of the system or are off the grid, so their IDs don't pop up, and so that's just another way to that they never get positively identified by Popo or families, friends. Yeah, it's sad, but the dude is a monster. He's about to get trial.
Yeah, he hasn't gone to court yet.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll find out soon.
And this guy had a family, and he was an architect. He was like a builder guy in Manhattan. So he had this whole life, but his family he had a daughter, son, wife. And he would let them go off on vacation fairly frequently. And when they went off on vacation, he would seek out hookers and then abuse them and or kill them. Nightmare stuff. All right. Are we done, honey?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate, or don't. Do whatever you want. You're grown up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your family. Please be sure to use our promo code for Donut House. We don't have a promo code for Donut House. Goodbye, my parasocial podcast friends. I love you. My wife and I love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, there may be a ladder in our trash can, but I'm still a good person. We're still good people. Thank you for caring. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. We hope you have a wonderful day / night. Bye-bye. Let's talk about this. So we were at a grocery outlet. New cashier lady. And she dropped one of your bananas, honey.
Yes.
And then she proceeded to pick up the banana from the flow and put it back.
Yeah. She said, good thing it's in a case.
How'd you feel? Because I realized it's in the skin. It's not like dropping a grape or whatever. But do you think she should have just said, "Oh, I'll be right back and I'll get one"? Or
no, I'm okay with it. She should have asked me if I was okay with it, though.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have just bagged it and carried on and made a joke.
But then, wouldn't that put you in an awkward position of making your hustle and go get a banana? Or would you?
I would go get the banana because I don't want her picking up my banana.
Okay.
That's another part of it.
Okay. Or as Lennox used to pronounce them, banana. Is that banana okay, honey? Have you eaten it? Are you dead?
I don't even know which one it was. Now they're all in the basket. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you're the only one who eats bananas, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you just had some with Cheerios today.
Yeah, I ate one today. It was good. So
okay.
There you go.
No floor debris. We tried the root beer Poppy. Poppy is the prebiotic, probiotic, whatever. Low calorie, lots of fiber, low sugar. Olipop is I would say the bigger brand, at least to me. But Poppy just got sold to Pepsi for $2 billion, which blows my mind. But we tried the root beer flavor on a whim 4-pack for $3.99 at Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. What did you think of the root beer flavor, honey?
Terrible.
Yeah.
I made a horrible face. I almost didn't get it down. It was horrible.
It was bad. I've had the strawberry lemon.
It was not root beer, by the way. I don't know what that flavor was.
It said root beer on the can. I've had strawberry lemon, and that's the flavor you usually get, yeah?
I usually get orange, which is good. I like the orange poppies.
Okay. I've had strawberry lemon. It came with my Chipotle lunch that work bought me, Mom. I don't go out to eat. And I liked it more than Olipop. And I was like, this is a fine beverage.
Definitely agree. Poppy is a better taste than the Olipop.
But not the root beer.
No.
I know. I was like, what? They should have been like, however long they were trying to craft a root beer flavor, 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years, and been like, we still don't have it. Let's go back to the prototype. Let's go back to the beta stage. Let's keep testing. I can't believe they would manufacture that. put it out. Publish it. Ugh. Stay away from the root beer poppy. Walmart gave us 2-day-old expired chicken, which we ate today. It was yummy. We got it for free. Now they're like, I don't even need to hop in the chat anymore. I just say expired, click, click, click. You don't need to return it. Okay, thanks. But it was perfectly fine. So thanks for that $8 of chicken, Walmart. And then we got seasoning salt, great value version, off-brand, generic brand. But it had a problem with it, honey.
Yeah, the seal was broken.
Yeah. You wanted to keep it.
Yeah. I think it was fine. I think like the adhesive just came undone. I don't think anybody lifted it up in the store and then put their finger in it or anything like that.
What about that TikTok challenge where people were walking into the grocery stores, opening ice cream, licking the ice cream, and putting the lid back on for the clicks and the views, honey? What about that?
Would they do that with seasoning salts?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the new trend. That's the new meme. Hashtag viral. Hashtag for you page. And then we did the Walmart pickup. They don't. So Walmart pickup is quite the scene. It's some people, normal people like us, customers, but a lot of the people there are Walmart delivery drivers waiting for their orders. And so for several months now, they just get out of their car and they're chatting in groups of 5, 6, 7, 8. But what happened this weekend, honey?
This employee pulled up in a van, like a security van, and she yells out her window, "You guys can't congregate like that. You have to separate."
Yeah.
So she forces these guys to go their separate ways, and they disperse throughout the parking lot.
Yeah.
So they have to wait for their orders just by themselves, lonely.
Yes.
Why can't they congregate? Why can't they enjoy each other's company? They were laughing. They were so happy.
Yeah.
They're all friends.
It does give them a sense of community. But via Google and Reddit, I read that it's a security thing because you don't want them kind of milling around the parking lot, getting in the way of cars. And also, you don't want them outside of their cars in general because a lot of delivery drivers, the Walmart worker comes out with an order, delivery driver goes through each single thing, and they don't want that anymore because it slows the process down. So, I mean, that's the reasons I saw on Reddit.
I just felt so bad for them. They look so sad.
Yeah, sitting in their cars, waiting for their delivery. And then, against everything I believe in and hold dear in every fiber of my being, we went to Costco an hour after it opened. Now, normally we're there at 8:45, 8:50. Costco opens at 9. But this time was different. I was like, let's go at 10, 10:30. Let's see what happens. 2 dozen eggs for $7.29. That's been a consistent price for a few months now. By the way, Grandma Tian says Vons in San Diego, California, $8.99 a dozen.
Whoa.
That's crazy. But we did beeline it to the egg section right away. You went in. I stayed out with the cart. You went in there.
It was hecka crowded. I couldn't. People were just standing around, or they were looking at the merchandise that's right outside the fridge area.
Yeah.
Like the walk-in fridge.
Yeah.
So I just went by myself, no cart, nothing.
Yeah.
Just me getting the eggs.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad inside where I was able to just go straight up and grab some.
Yeah.
But like the aisles at Costco were super packed, especially around the dairy.
Yeah. You went in there, and then I had to move because it was just a lot of traffic. So when you came out, it's just so much like pandemonium, chaos that I need to get your attention because I wasn't where I was. I had moved. So I screamed out, "Darling!" really loud. I yelled it, if you will. And it sounds like I'm angry, but I'm not angry. I just
I knew.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. You dug through some produce, honey. So when you go to Costco, you see these older gals digging through crates and crates of produce to get to the prize strawberry or whatever on the third layer. What were you digging through, and did you find what you were looking for?
Well, what I was doing is I was trying to buy some green grapes for Lennox.
Oh, yeah.
And he is very specific. His grapes have to be firm.
Right.
But these grapes were in a plastic container.
Yeah.
When it's in a bag, I can squeeze through the bag and feel it.
Right.
So on the plastic containers, I was trying to pry open the corners and reach inside and give a little squeeze.
You were literally opening up the plastic boxes.
I didn't break any seals, but I did like lift up the corner.
But like you touched grapes.
Yeah.
And then so someone bought those grapes, and then they're eating your DNA, your germs.
Everyone needs to be washing their fruit and vegetables when they get home. And if you don't, that's on you.
Okay.
And my hands were clean.
Gotcha. We didn't get no Motor City pizza because, I didn't want to deal with the 2,400 calories per pie. We did the self-checkout. That's where it's at, man.
Yeah, especially for us, we don't get a big load of groceries.
Yeah.
We're always like 10 items and under.
Yeah. Yeah, we spent about $60. It's just a much more laid back process. And you're not dealing with an employee trying to get you out the door who may or may not be angry.
Almost all the time they're very rude or they try to get you through there so quickly. Yeah. It's really unfriendly, unpleasant.
They're turning tables like in a restaurant. And then they did something different. They had a guy checking receipts for the self-checkout. Like how you walk out and at the exit there's people checking your receipt at Costco. They had a guy specifically checking receipts for the self-checkout people, and he had his little pink highlight or whatever. But he was hecka nice, hecka patient. So it worked out well. He helped us out. He highlighted our receipt. At 11, because like I said, normally we go at 9, but at 10:30, 11, there were samples. We didn't get any.
Nothing appealed to me. I was checking it out when we walked by. Nothing looked very good.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm not a child anymore. I don't get excited over samples. I'm a grown up. I'm an adult. I don't need samples. I don't need more free food. I'm fine. Alrighty. Are we really done, honey?
Yeah.
Okay. See ya. Peace out, Boy Scout.
And oop. Ooh.
We got chicken.
Is that crispy, juicy, tender? I can't eat no longer. And oop.